Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and we had some big news drop this afternoon regarding the SEC versus Ripple case. The SEC, this far into the proceedings, has decided to add 2 lawyers to the case. Well, how about that? So what is that? Do they feel like maybe the existing attorney's not doing so hot a job? Or perhaps is this an indication that the SEC is seeking to settle? It might not sound like that on the surface, and I don't know if it is, but there's a case to be made, actually, and I will explain why. Wait till you see what one of these attorneys specializes in. Also, there's another topic that was floating around the XRP community and social media today I've got to talk about, and it has to do with an article that put out a claim that the SEC is refusing to provide documents to Ripple having to do with how they came to the conclusion of determining what Ethereum and Bitcoin actually are. Is it a commodity, the security, non-security? How did we come to that conclusion? Well, the court's determined already, because Ripple got a win on this one. There's a pre-motion hearing. The judge decided this information, it's discoverable. It must be shared. And so then there's all these angry circulations on the Twitters about how the SEC's pretending that they lost the documents, this and that. And so I thought, whoa. So I'm going to share with you the specifics on that as well. Lots to talk about in this latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam. But I do want to be clear at the outset, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast making YouTube videos all up on the internet. It's about Ripple and XRP and crypto and unicorns, and that's all that's going on here. Nothing else to see here. And so here's a tweet from somebody named Tyler, which got fairly heavily circulated on social media today, specifically on Twitter. And it reads as follows. SEC have been ordered Robert MacDonald Moy and Benjamin J. Hanauer to appear, I don't know how to say this. The first time I ever tried to say this, I said it on a video, I said, pro hack vice, and then somebody in the comment section said it's pronounced pro hack vice. And so I could have Googled that before recording this video so that I'd know how to say it, but I decided that I did not want to do that because I frankly just don't care enough. So now I'm just talking about it. I mean, all that work of like typing the fingers on the keyboard and clicking on links and searching to find it, it could have taken a whole 1 to 2 minutes. How long is it taking me to explain that I didn't want to do that? Probably less. So I think that's a win for me personally. So anyway, I'll just say it wrong. Pro hack vice, because that's probably wrong. Pure pro hack vice as seen here, and then they provide the actual court document there. And so what does this mean? And I've got opinions from a couple attorneys here. Let's start with Jeremy Hogan, very well known at this point, I would say, within the XRP community, and he tweeted out the following. The SEC is bringing in 2 lawyers from Chicago to assist with the case. The lawyers have 18 and 25 years experience, so these are senior trial lawyers. I would say this means that the SEC is calling in the reinforcements. So look, upon reading that, obviously if you're an XRP holder and you realize just how ridiculously and unfavorably and unethically and illogically the SEC has been behaving since December, at least publicly since December, you're probably feeling pretty good about that, and I'd say rightfully so. Perhaps they did bite off more than they can chew, and in fact, it's just looked like it's looked for a long time, like just on the facts, the SEC is quite the uphill battle. And I've even said, look, even though I'm not a lawyer, if I were a lawyer and I had to defend either the SEC's position or Ripple's, I would much rather defend Ripple's position. And not that they're going to be found right on everything, not that I think they're right about everything. I would much prefer to be in Ripple's position. I genuinely mean that. And then Jeremy Hogan also wrote, it could mean the SEC just needs more help because Ripple is fighting back hard, or it could mean that someone decided that there needs to be a new lead counsel. My guess. The older Chicago attorney will be the new lead, as you don't need a 25-year lawyer just to, quote, help out, end quote. And so what does that mean? It means perhaps that Jorge Tenrero, the SEC attorney who's been running the show here, well, he's one of the 3 attorneys, looks like he done messed up along with the rest of his little posse. And so, like, are any of us surprised about this? So if that's the case, that's good. There's another reason that it could be good that I'm going to be getting to shortly, but I don't want to get too ahead of myself. And then there was this. Actually, let me jump here. Yeah, so here's another attorney within the XRP community, XRP attorney Seal. And he tweeted out the following just several hours ago. You know that they're getting their hats, getting handed their hats in litigation when they have to bring in extra lawyers mid-trial. Hashtag zero doubt. And so that seems pretty well in line with what Jeremy Hogan has communicated, using different words to effectively communicate the same thing. I can get aboard that gravy train. Somebody named John responded to that and wrote, "Is this your legal opinion or your opinion as a holder of XRP?" To which he responded, "It's my opinion on 3 grounds. As a Ripple shareholder, as an XRP holder, as a lawyer who's been involved in litigation. If I'm arguing a case and halfway through my opponent brings in more experienced lawyers, I know I'm doing something right." And so there you go. Well stated. I need to heart these. I hadn't done that. There we go. A couple hearts for XRP attorney Seal. And one for you, John, whoever you are, for asking the question here. I like that. All right, next. This is a fun thing to think through because, like, Ripple's got, what, like 21 lawyers or something like that? I think it was something like, that might have been the number between Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson and Ripple. So I think that's correct. So maybe it's more like, maybe it is what he cited here, 7 lawyers just for Ripple. It is, okay, so yeah, it's 3 lawyers representing, yeah, so I was right. Okay, so it's 21 total. And then I can't remember how many are specifically just for Ripple. I think that Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, they may individually each have like 4, roughly, something like that. I would have to look that up again, but it doesn't matter for the sake of this video here. But there's this question here, like, why did Ripple need so many lawyers? And some people I think it's mostly people that just don't like Ripple and XRP is like, oh yeah, look at that Ripple. See how many lawyers they need. That just means that they've got a hell of a case up against it. Like, and so it's like people, whatever they want to be true, it comes out, like their bias definitely comes out. Their opinion of whether or not the disparity in quantity of lawyers on each side is good or bad for either side. The bias bleeds through, right? And so here, and I got a couple thoughts to say this, but there's a thread on this. XRP attorney Seal, this stems from this initial tweet from him about how, basically the SEC, they're getting their hats handed to them, given that they're bringing these lawyers mid-trial. Somebody named Cryptom responded to that and wrote, 3 lawyers representing SEC versus 21 lawyers representing Ripple, Brad, and Chris. On average, every 1 lawyer from SEC is up against 7 lawyers from Ripple. And so think about this. That might sound really unfair. My gosh, the poor little old SEC. No. Baby girl, hush, baby girl, just hush them lips. Let me talk. Let Moon Lambo talk to you for a second here. Okay, the SEC made the determination, probably in a cocky manner, that all they needed, frankly, was 3 lawyers to sew this up. They could have had as many lawyers as they wanted. And also, infinity lawyers isn't necessarily better than 3 lawyers. I don't care if Ripple had over 100, that doesn't necessarily mean that. But in terms of just covering, imagine the amount of like documentation you have to go through and having people proofread stuff. Like, this is a huge thing. And then, like, the amount of research you have to do, like the rocks you have to uncover. And if that's the number of lawyers Ripple thought that it would take, that's fine. If the SEC is cocky enough initially to think that they can do it with 3 lawyers because they got this whole thing sewn up, well, fine. Clearly, they couldn't. Clearly, they could not, and or they had the wrong team in place, right? I think that's a much more reasonable interpretation. Now, you could say that that's my bias, fine, but I'm just saying each side is allowed to have however many lawyers they want. And so let's not pretend that that's some sort of indication of something being unfair or it's some sort of measure of the guilt of a side. Like, that is irrational in my estimation, right? And so XRP attorney Seal wrote the following. I always say, if you're scared of the legal battle, then either don't bring the case or accept their settlement. The SEC decided to flex their muscle and now are feeling outgunned. And I think that makes all the sense in the world. All right, next, take a look at this. Somebody asked attorney XRP attorney Seal, this is somebody named XRP Logic, didn't know that was legal, and he's talking about adding more lawyers in the case, thought once a suit began that was it, or is there a time frame to add new party/litigants? XRP Attorney Seal responds, the litigants are the same unless the judge approves additional third parties, so it's the SEC, still the SEC versus Ripple. However, each side can bring in as many lawyers as they want. There you go. And so it goes back to what I just stated a minute or two ago. The SEC is like, oh, no, we good, we got this with just a 3 lawyers, son. Oh, except you don't. That's got to sting a little bit in hindsight. Poor decision making. And then there was this, too. Somebody named XRP Toro asked this lawyer, XRP Attorney Seal, who pays for those other bums to come help the SEC? You know the answer to this, though, don't you? XRP Attorney Seal responded with the following. The SEC has a $2 billion annual budget, so they will, aka, using federal tax dollars. Of course that's the answer, though, right? So think about this. With their virtually infinite money, they're like, nah, we got this. We're just the 3 lawyers. We gonna crush them. Except for you didn't, and now you're in trouble. You dumb messed up, son. Look, with $2 billion, you're telling me that they could have like just seen that Ripple had 21 lawyers and be like, yeah, we're gonna double it, and then just had 42. Because why the hell not? They could have just been little punk asses about it. They're punk asses about everything else. Why the hell not? And so. It is kind of disgusting, though, for those of us XRP holders that got burned in the United States. We also have to pay the SEC to come after us. That does burn a little bit. Hopefully justice is ultimately done. And then there was this. Oh, yes, and this, you guys are going to love this. Please stay tuned. If you were about to tune out, stop it. Just like, I'm going to smack your hand away. Somebody named Contess Aria tweeted to XRP Attorney Seal, does this mean that there probably won't be a settlement soon? Thank you for a reply. We'll see how it goes, I guess, LOL. XRP Attorney Seal responded with the following. I always try to stay optimistic, because my luck, if I sold my XRP today, the case would settle tomorrow. And so here's the question. With them coming in, bringing in the bigger guns, is this an indication that, in addition to what is likely the case that they were failing, is this indicating that they have stronger conviction than ever to see this case through? I mean, if they wanted to settle because they realized they were messing up so terribly, why bring in the lawyers, right? Wouldn't you just settle then? Does this really mean that they think they messed up? Well, if they think they're messed up, either way, it looks like the answer is going to be yes. Check this out from my fellow XRP YouTuber, Jungle Inc. You are going to love this. And we'll see if there's something to it. There could be. But Jungle Inc. wrote the following. Ladies and gentlemen, you may want to load up on XRP. Look up the new attorney the SEC is bringing in. And he's talking about Robert Moy. And then Jungle Inc. writes, they specialize in negotiating settlements for the SEC. Oh, well, how about that? And then he writes, I think this stupid situation may be coming to an end. And he provided a LinkedIn link. And so you can see here's the part that he highlighted. So this is from the SEC attorney's official LinkedIn profile. This is what he wrote himself. I help conclude complex investigations, provide advice to SEC senior officials regarding charging decisions, and negotiate settlements. So, maybe they already realized that they're in trouble and they're bringing in bigger guns who have more experience, just to wind this thing down. I don't know. It is speculation. Happy to acknowledge that. But interesting, is it not? One of the two they brought in specializes in that. Either way, this is clearly not a good sign for the SEC, right? Probably fair to say that. And then I mentioned at the beginning of the video, and I saw this all over social media, Twitter specifically, all these people that were upset that the SEC is claiming to have lost documents about how they came to the conclusion that Ethereum and Bitcoin not securities, when the court has ordered that they must provide said documents, and then they're saying that they lost them. So I thought, well, that sounds kind of funny. That's strange to me. I'm very surprised, because clearly that's not to me. That's not a claim that, if made, would pass the smell test. The SEC claiming, oh, look, because clearly they came to some sort of determinations about what they vocally stated. But now, sorry, all the information about it's gone. That would be crazy, right? And so here's what I tweeted out. I'm seeing tweets about the SEC claiming they have no internal documents about how they came to conclusions about the classification of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Assuming this is accurate, notice I use the word assuming, can someone provide links with verifiable data on this? Thanks. And somebody did respond, and it was, I got him in the next tweet too. Yeah, so it was something from Mac Attack, or maybe this individual, maybe it's more than one person, Michael, I don't know if this is Michael Ashtiani, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. It looks like you provided the same thing too. I'm not sure if others did also. A lot of times people, get multiple people sharing stuff. I like to give credit where it's due, but anyway. The point is, it came ultimately from this piece, and so Mac Attack XRP on Twitter also shared that, and I read it. And it's claiming what the XRP community is saying it claims. But look, check this out. Here's what I tweeted out. And I linked to the article. Is this the article that everyone has been talking about? It does not source the claim that the SEC is withholding documents. I need proof, or I can't believe this is real. Anytime I see a wild claim on the internet, I want to verify myself whether it's true or not. And so many people just do not take that approach. There's a wild claim, maybe it hits the emotional buttons, and they just like, emotion, share with everyone. And that's what I imagine it's like anyway. And that's what happens. That's how you get like all sorts of nonsense news all over the internet. And so instead for me, I'm just going to approach pretty much everything in life as a skeptic. I think that's a much more responsible way to approach things. And so I said, okay, if this is true, fine, I want to share it. In this case, it was such an extreme claim, and it got circulated. I was like, I still want to address it, but I want to put it to death. Unless anybody does have proof that this is true. But here's the thing. There's one article on the internet that's been cited. Normally, if something's true, all sorts of crypto media picks it up. So that's a giveaway right there that this is highly likely to be false. And there's no links to in this article to prove it. So here's the headline. SEC denies holding documents relating to XRP, Bitcoin, and Ether. That's an extreme claim, right? And so they make the claim at the top of the article. I don't really feel like reading through it, but there is nothing in here that links to it. So I don't know if they were just trying to get clicks and be disingenuous. I don't know. This does not make me like Crypto Daily. That's the website. I am not a fan of them unless this ends up actually being true, in which case I'll make a separate video and be like, this is huge news, because it would be. And so this is not me. This is me saying there is not proof right now. I haven't seen it anyway. To make it reasonable to believe that this claim is true. It's an extreme claim, and it's coming from one website. So just reserve judgment on extreme claims until you can verify it for yourself, because otherwise you kind of end up looking silly, right? And so that's why that's the approach I take. That's what I do with everything in life. But anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap up there, and would love to hear your comments on this stuff. It's incredibly fascinating. It's just a new day of drama every single day. I'm not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.